Hello guys, welcome to the lecture series of soil mechanics. My name is Arundu Mukherjee and you are watching Aero Civil. So in this lecture series we have already studied the classification of soil. In this video we will discuss about the second chapter of soil mechanics, that is properties of soil. Okay, so in the properties of soil the most important definition is phase diagram. As per definition, what is phase diagram? The diagrammatic representation of the different phase in soil mass is called the phase diagram. Soil mass is in a generally three phase system composed of solid, liquid and gaseous matter in blended form with each other. But in phase diagram, for understanding, these three matters are shown separately. Okay, in real these three matters are mixed together. Okay, some amount of solid is present, then in between air is present, then water is present, but for our study purpose we are showing in this way that the lower portion is solid, then water, then at the top, that is air portion. Okay, so in phase diagram it will help to understand that which phase or how many phase is present in a particular type of soil. Okay, so as you can see in the hierarchy, that the soil is classified into two portions as per phase diagram. The first one is two phase system, then the second one is three phase system. Under two phase system there can be three type of example. One is oven dried. If the soil is fully dry, that means no amount of water is present, then the two state of the soil or then the two state of the system is present. First one is solid and second one is air, because no water is present because soil is fully oven dried. Then the fully saturated condition. Under fully saturated condition, saturated means there should not be any air voids. Okay, there should not be any void which is full of air. Okay, every void will be filled up by the water. Then the type of soil is called fully saturated. Under fully saturated condition, the two system is present, that is solid and water. Under super saturated condition, same condition will be there, solid plus water. Then under three phase system, it is partially saturated. That means few amount of water is present and the rest of the void is filled up by air. Okay, so under void there is two portion, one is air, another one is water. Okay, void is differentiate into two portion, one is air, another one is water. Okay, if the soil is partially saturated, that means some of the void is filled up with water and the rest of the void is filled up with air. Okay, in case of three phase system, the type of soil is partially saturated, that means air, water, solid, all are present are here. Okay, here you can see S equal to 0. This S is represent the degree of saturation. We will talk about this later, what is degree of saturation. Just remember this, in case of oven dried, the soil is totally dry, so no amount of saturation is present, that's why degree of saturation is 0. In case of fully saturated, soil is fully saturated, that's why the degree of saturation is 1. Okay, in case of super saturated condition also degree of saturation is 1. In case of partially saturated, soil is in between 0 to 1. Okay, degree of saturation is in between 0 to 1. Okay, now if voids absent in a system, it don't be termed as soil. If you found such kind of material where there is no void is present, okay, that kind of material is called rock, that is not a soil. Okay, in case of soil, a few amount of void should be present, then void should be filled up by air or water, that is depend on the condition, but void should be present in the soil. If void doesn't present in the soil, then the material is called rock. Example, granite, that means aquefuge. We will talk about aquefuge in hydrology. Okay, then in supersaturated state, with change in water content, volume of void changes, hence volume of soil changes. See, in this equation we have shown Vt. Vt here means total volume of soil. Okay, VT means total volume of soil. VT is the summation of VA, that means volume of air. Okay, VW volume of water plus VS volume of solid. Okay, VT means total volume is the summation of volume of air, volume of water and volume of solid. This VA and VW is summation is called as volume of void. Okay, this VA and VW summation is called volume of void. Then water content. Okay, this is a handwritten note provided by myself. Okay, in case of water content or moisture content, it is denoted by omega. Okay, water content and moisture content denoted by omega. It is defined as the ratio of weight of water divided by weight of solid into 100. Water content defined in percentage. Okay, water content is the ratio of weight of water whole divided by weight of solid. In case of water content, there is no upper limit. Okay, it can be any percentage, it can be more than 100% also. Okay, so there is no upper limit for water content. So you just remember that water content is greater than or equal to 0. It is important for your exam purpose. Okay, then water content can be represented by WW by WS. Here WW means weight of water, WS means weight of solid. If we add 1 in both side, so then it is coming as the omega plus 1 equal to 1 plus WW by WS. Then WW plus WS whole divided by WS equal to WT by WS. See, weight of water and weight of solid. Weight of water plus weight of solid is total weight. Then you can ask me, where is the weight of air? See, weight of air is very much negligible. Okay, weight of air is very much low, so we can neglect that weight. So total weight of solid soil equal to weight of solid plus weight of water. But in case of calculation of volume, total volume equal to volume of air, volume of water plus volume of solid. But in case of weight calculation, total weight calculation, it is the summation of weight of water plus weight of solid. That's why it is written in numerator where total weight divided by WS, that means weight of solid. So omega plus 1 equal to total weight by weight of solid. So weight of solid can be represented by total weight by 1 plus omega. This is a representation. Then water content can also be expressed as weight of water by total weight of soil. Okay, in general water content is represented by weight of water by weight of solid, but it can be also represented by weight of water whole divided by total weight of soil. Here the denominator is changed, that means total weight of soil. So it is written as omega WW by WT into 100. Then the water content is denoted by omega dash. If we find the relationship between omega and omega dash, if you calculate, then it is coming as omega equal to omega dash by 1 minus omega dash. So here what are the important points? Water content value or limit of water content should be greater than equal to 0. Then this relationship, that means weight of solid equal to total weight by 1 plus omega. Again water content equal to water content dash whole divided by 1 minus omega dash. Okay, just remember these three things. These are very much important for your exam purpose. Now the next is void ratio. What is void ratio? Void ratio is the ratio of volume of void and the volume of solid. Okay, void ratio is represented by volume of void divided by volume of solid. Now one interesting fact, just try to imagine in this way. Suppose a certain volume of box is present to you. Okay, at first you pour coarse grain soil. What are the example of coarse grain soil? Like gravel, okay, or like stone. You pour stone into that container. Okay, a certain volume of container is present to you. Now you pour a certain amount of or certain volume of coarse grain soil there. Again you pour certain amount of fine grain, that means clay, silt, fine grain soil in that container. Now, number of molecule is more in which case? Number of molecule or the number of particle is more in which case? Anyone can tell, though the in case of fine grain soil the particle size is very less, so number of particle should be more for fine grain soil in that particular container, particular volume of container. Is that clear? You take a container, yeah, there you pour a certain volume of coarse grain soil, again you pour a certain volume of fine grain soil, so number of particles should be more in case of fine grain soil. Though the number of particle is more for fine grain soil, so the interparticular distance should be more in case of fine grain soil. That's why it is written, though size of individual voids of coarse grain soil is more, total volume of voids in fine grain soil is more. Size of individual voids of coarse grain soil is more. Okay, the distance between two coarse grain soil, distance between two gravel is more than fine grain soil, but the total amount of void is more in case of fine grain soil, as because the number of particle is more, that's why number of void ratio is more. So from that relation we can get to the conclusion that the volume of void is more for fine grain soil. It is very much important point for your GATE exam purpose. Then in general the limit of void ratio is always greater than 0. Okay, there is no upper limit for void ratio. As I already mentioned that in case of soil a certain amount of void should be present, so the void ratio cannot be equal to 0. So void ratio should be always greater than 0, it can be any value. Then porosity. Porosity is the ratio of volume of void by total volume. Here denominator we use total volume into 100. Porosity is represented in percentage. Okay, and the limit of porosity is varying between 0 to 100. Okay. Now, what is written in note point, that void ratio is more important engineering properties in comparison to porosity. Why? Frequently used because volume of solid remains same whereas total volume changes. See, if you take a particular volume of soil, there the volume of soil should be same. Suppose you took a particular volume of soil, in that case the volume of solid should be same, but the total volume can be changed if you compress the soil, if the volume of water increases, so the volume of solid remain constant, but the total volume cannot be remain constant because the volume of void can be changes. Okay, here it is written in that way that void ratio is more important engineering properties in comparison to porosity, frequently used because volume of solid remains same whereas the total volume changes. Total volume changes means volume of void also changes. Though the volume of void changes, so the total volume also changes, because volume of solid is constant. Total volume is the summation of volume of void and volume of solid. If the volume of solid is constant and the volume of void is varying, then the total volume is also varying, because total volume is the summation of volume of void plus volume of solid. So though the volume of void and volume both are changing, so we cannot trust on the property porosity, but the void ratio is more trustworthy than porosity, so we use void ratio in maximum cases. Then degree of saturation. Degree of saturation is the ratio of volume of water by volume of void. Okay, and degree of saturation can be varied from 0 to 100. In this case, as you can see, it can be equal to 0, and the degree of saturation can be equal to 100 also. Okay, so you can see it is varying from 0 to 100. When the degree of saturation is 0, then the soil is perfectly dry soil. I have already told you, when the degree of saturation is 0, then no amount of water is present, then the soil is fully dry. Okay, when the degree of saturation is 100, we can say soil is fully saturated. Now the air content. Okay, air content is the ratio of volume of air by the volume of void into 100. Now if we consider a saturated soil, a fully saturated soil, then in case of fully saturated soil we can say that the volume of void or the total void will be filled by the water, so there should not be any air present. Okay, in case of fully saturated soil no air should be present, so the volume of air should be 0 in case of fully saturated soil, so air content can be equal to 0. Again, when the soil is fully dried, then no water is present, then the volume of air is maximum, then the total volume of void will be filled by the volume of air, then the AC value equal to 1. When the total volume of void equal to volume of air, then the AC will be equal to 1, so the AC value varying from 0 to 100. Okay, AC value will vary from 0 to 100. For when the soil is fully saturated, then AC equal to 0. When the soil is fully dried, then AC equal to 100. So AC value vary from 0 to 100. If you noticed, in case of degree of saturation, it is ratio of volume of water and volume of void. In case of air content, it is ratio of volume of air and volume of void. If you add these two, that is S plus AC, degree of saturation plus air content, so in denominator volume of void is common and in numerator it is coming as volume of water plus volume air. हम लोग को ये पता है कि volume of void is the summation of volume of air plus volume of water. So in numerator also it is coming as volume of air plus volume of water equal to volume of void. In denominator it is also volume of void. So S plus AC equal to coming as 1. Okay. So and we can also represent like this, AC equal to 1 minus S. Percentage air void is the ratio of volume of air by total volume into 100. It is represented by VA by V into 100. See, it is also represented by porosity into AC. Okay, percentage air void equal to porosity into AC. We know porosity equal to, see, we know porosity equal to VV by V. That means volume of void by total volume. Now, volume of void by total volume into AC, that means volume of air by volume of void. In case of porosity and numerator, that was volume of void was there, so volume of void and volume of void if we cut, then it is remain volume of air by total volume. Okay, so eta A equal to porosity into air content. Okay, it is easy derivation. Now unit weight. Unit weight is the ratio of total weight by unit volume. Okay, unit weight is the ratio of total weight of soil by total volume or unit volume of soil. Total weight of soil, I have already told you, it is the summation of weight of solid plus weight of water, and the total volume means volume of air, volume of water and volume of soil solid. Dry unit weight, then dry unit weight is the ratio of weight of soil solid as per unit volume. Dry unit weight is used as a measure of denseness of soil. More dry unit weight means more compacted soil. When the dry unit weight, that means gamma D is more, that means it represents the soil is more compacted. Why it is represented like this? Because when the gamma D will increase, then the water content, that means the water present in the soil will reduce. Okay, if we compact the soil by the help of hammer, then the water will remove from the soil. Okay, so the dry unit weight also increase. Okay, so it represent, dry unit weight represent the compactness of the soil. More dry unit weight means more compacted soil. Then saturated unit weight. Saturated unit weight is the ratio of saturated weight of the soil by the unit volume of the soil. Okay, in case of submerged unit weight, gamma submerged equal to difference between gamma saturated minus unit weight of the water. Okay, gamma submerged or the submerged unit weight of soil equal to saturated unit of weight of soil minus unit weight of water. Okay, now unit weight of soil solids equal to weight of soil solids by the volume of soil solids. Okay, in previous ratios, in case of new denominator, you have seen for every cases we have used the total volume, but in case of unit weight of solids we use the volume of soil solids. Okay, this is the difference. Now which unit weight is the maximum? Gamma S, that means unit weight of the soil solid is maximum, then unit weight of the saturated soil, then bulk unit weight, then dry unit weight, then the submerged unit weight. So it is very much important for your exam purpose. You have to remember the chronologically that which one is the more, which one comes more value, then which one is the less value. Okay, it can be comes in arrange format. They can ask in this way that arrange in proper format. Okay, so gamma S is maximum, then gamma sat, then gamma bulk, then gamma dry, then gamma sub. Remember these things. Okay, note, soil in submerged condition will be in saturated state, but soil in saturated condition need not be in submerged state. Okay, what it is written, soil in submerged condition, when the soil is fully submerged under the water, then the soil will be fully saturated. By basic sense we can say that when the soil is fully submerged under the water, then the soil is fully saturated. But if the soil is fully saturated, it doesn't mean the soil is in submerged condition. Okay, then the soil mass below the water table is submerged as well as saturated condition. Okay, it is clear, when the soil is fully submerged or under the water, then it is submerged as well as saturated condition. Whereas soil mass in capillary zone, it is in saturated condition only. Okay, but not in submerged condition. Capillary zone we will discuss in later video. Just remember this, in case of capillary zone, soil is in saturated condition. Now specific gravity, true or absolute specific gravity. Specific gravity is the ratio of the weight of a given volume of solid to the weight of an equivalent volume of water at 4 degrees centigrade. Specific gravity is represented by G equal to weight of solid by volume of solid whole divided by unit weight of water. Okay, so it is represented by Ws by Vs into gamma W. Now Ws by Vs, that means unit weight of solid equal to represented by Ws by Vs. We have already discussed that gamma S equal to Ws by Vs. So Ws by Vs we can represent it as gamma S. So G equal to gamma S by gamma W. Now specific gravity is varying between 2.6 to 2.75 in case of inorganic soil. It is varying between 1.2 to 1.4 in case of organic soil. Now what is the specific gravity help to represent? Specific gravity is proportional to the mineral content like iron plus mica, and it is inversely proportional to the amount of organic content. Specific gravity of fine grained soil is more than the coarse grained soil. Remember this, specific gravity of fine grained soil is more than the coarse grained soil. Okay. Now apparent specific gravity. In previous we have learned true specific gravity. Now we have to learn apparent specific gravity. Mass specific gravity or apparent specific gravity is the specific gravity of the soil mass and defined as the ratio of the total weight of a given mass of soil to the equivalent volume of water. Okay, so it is represented by weight of soil by volume of soil whole divided by gamma W, that means unit weight of water. In case of true specific gravity, there should be only weight of solid whole divided by volume of soil solid. So in case of apparent specific gravity, it is the ratio of gamma by gamma W or gamma D by gamma W or gamma sat by gamma W. Okay, that means gamma by gamma W means bulk unit weight by unit weight of water, dry unit weight by dry unit weight of water, saturated unit weight by unit weight of water. Okay, and remember this, that apparent specific gravity value should be always less than true specific gravity value. Why this happens, that gm should be always less than g? Because we have already learned from this relationship that gamma s should be always greater than this other unit weight of soil. Okay, if the numerator, that means gamma s, is the biggest one than other unit weight, so g value should be always greater than gm value. So from the relationship we can get that gm is always less than g. Okay, in India g reported at 27 degrees centigrade. Okay, now if in the question it is given in any other temperature, that is it is given like example you can take 35 degree centigrade, so you can convert that g 35 degree centigrade equal to g 27 degree centigrade at and into multiplied by gamma w at 27 degree centigrade by gamma w at 35 degree centigrade. Okay, this is the relationship. Now relative density. Now the relative terms help to define when we are compared two materials. Okay, relative density help. This is a type of property which help to compare the density of two solids. Okay, it helps to compare the degree of denseness of two solids. Now relative density is help to define the soil's property like shear strength. Okay, it is proportional to the shear strength and it is inversely proportional to the compressibility. Now relative density is the formula of the relative density is E max minus E by E max minus E min. Here E means the void ratio, E max means maximum void ratio, E min is the minimum void ratio, and E is the laboratory void ratio. Okay, so relative density ID can be represented in the form of percentage, or it can also be represented by the dry density also. That means in case of E max, if we put 1 by gamma D min, in case of E min we put 1 by gamma D max, then it is represented as 1 by gamma D min minus 1 by gamma D whole divided by 1 by gamma D min minus 1 by gamma D max into 100. You just remember this formula, E max minus E whole divided by E max minus E min into 100. Now in this chart you can see the range of relative density. When it is varying from 0 to 15, it is called very loose soil. From 15 to 30, it is called loose soil. From 30 to 65, it is called medium soil. From 65 to 85, it is called dense soil. From 85 to 100, it is called very dense soil. Okay, you just have to remember this chart. Okay. Now for uniformly graded coarse soil having perfectly spherical grain of same size, when the soil is uniformly graded, then the size of the soil particle is spherical. Okay, and the size of the soil particle will be same. When particles are arranged in cubical array, that means the type that the shape of the particles or the shape of the array of the particle should be cubical, then the maximum void ratio should be 91% and the maximum porosity should be 47.6%. When the particles are arranged in prismoidal array, then the minimum void ratio should be 35% and the minimum porosity should be 25.9%. Just remember these points, it can be come in your exam. Just remember these points. Okay. Now relative compaction, which help to define the degree of denseness of cohesive plus cohesionless soil. Okay, relative compaction help to define degree of denseness of cohesive and cohesion both soil. Okay, now relative density help to define degree of denseness in only for cohesionless soil. Okay, these are not very much important for GATE exam purpose. It is very much important for IES exam purpose. You just have to remember these values, that in case of cubical array what should be the value of Emax and eta max, or in case of prismoidal array minimum E value, minimum void ratio value and minimum porosity value. You just have to remember these things. Okay, you just read these things once. Okay, so thank you. In next lecture we will discuss about some between soil properties, that is relationship between porosity and void ratio, relationship between water content, specific gravity, degree of saturation, void ratio. We will derive those relationship in next lecture. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.